Wow, we have a legend here. I don't even know where to start. Where are we going right now? Bun B, hello. What is happening right now?
I'm good, man. Thank y'all so much for having me.
Come
for
on.
Real.
It is an honor, truly, to just be here right now and to see your incredible career continue the way it has and all the different business ventures that you've done. I'm happy. These are the moments that we look forward to, right? It's just to be able to evolve. And here you are putting out a new album.
Yes.
Like, it hasn't slowed down whatsoever.
No, that's the beauty of what we've been able to create, is that we don't have to compromise our cultural integrity or our interactions. You know what I'm saying? I built a business specifically in a way that I can be who I am naturally. So it's not just a place for people to come for food and great service, but it's also a cultural entry point for people coming from out of town. You know, we're happy to be a destination location for people. Right. So obviously you'll come in, you'll get the burger. The burger's amazing. But for those that haven't really been to Houston and need to know kind of what Houston is about, you're going to feel the vibe in the business. You know, we're playing Trill music, Southern hip-hop music all day long. So you get to hear some of those records you recognize, and it's a very comforting environment. People feel welcome. I want everybody to feel welcome.
So you're not just listening to your songs. You're listening
No, not at all. Not at all.
Can you imagine it's only just your songs playing?
I don't listen to myself like that. Once I create, I give it to the people and I let them have it. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's a little too much. Like if somebody pulled up and I'm riding around in a car and I'm playing myself and like that's too much. Like life is bigger than me. You know?
Oh man. Talk to me about Way Mo Trill, obviously coming out November 7th.
Yes.
You really haven't stopped.
No. I mean, look, I believe that, you know, when the older you get, the more active you have to continue to be. You know what I'm saying? I watched my grandfather work till in his 80s. You know what I'm saying? So just the idea of staying busy, making yourself available to people, that's important to me, you know? And one of my biggest ways to connect with people has been through music over the past 30 years. So I see no reason why I should stop doing what I love to do. When I see people like Scarface, you know, my OG, who still does what he loves to do. When I see people like Too Short, my OG, who still does what he loves to do. So many great creators are still very active in this industry. You know what I'm saying? And the people that grew up listening to my music, they haven't stopped loving music, but unfortunately, they don't have a lot of music that speaks to them and their generation. Radio, as it should be built around the young people. You know what I'm saying? They're the voices of the future. That's kind of what a lot of this culture really belongs to, is the new generation. But those of us from previous generations, we still outside, you know, in our own way. You know what I'm saying? We still like to go out and hear new music. So, you know, I continue to tour, I continue to create, I continue to perform, and I try to stay connected to people and just meet them where they are in life. You know, most of my fans have always been working class people. So they got to, you know, save up some money and find a babysitter and, you know, go shopping and all of that stuff. So if you give my generation like 2 months, like 2.5 months to get ready for a show, they'll show up ready to go.
Yeah. But I love that you're able just to bridge just different sounds in different generation. When we look at I Can't Lie, your song, right? And we see that it's effortless as well, right? And obviously, I feel like there's been a lot of energy and talk behind Monaleo.
Yes.
Right? Do we feel this right now?
Absolutely.
Like more than ever. Like in this moment as we're having this conversation, I just feel like there's been like a certain energy.
No, the transition from when we actually reached out to her to be a part of this record, which was my wife's suggestion. My wife was like, I think you need a female voice. I think Monaleo would be really good on this record.
Great decision, by the way.
Yeah, and so we recorded her maybe 6-7 months ago. And then that time, like her rise in the industry, like her popularity, it's really blowing up. It's taking off. All her shows are sold out right now. She's killing it on the road, which we're very proud of her in Houston. And we're just lucky that we got her early. You know what I'm saying?
I was going to say, what did your wife see in her? I'm curious.
My wife was like, you know, she's outside really trying to represent herself and her generation, but she's committed, like not just her career, but, you know, she and her husband, she just got married recently. They've got a family. She's very focused and very intentional about how she moves. Now, the music is made for everybody to listen to, appreciate, and turn up. But the way she's handling her business, and her husband's an artist as well. So they have a great way of navigating through these waters. He's releasing new music. She's releasing new music. But they're very focused on making sure they keep their family together, making sure they're making time as parents for their child. You You know what I'm saying? And that's the kind of thing I want to see from young people. You know what I'm saying? Go out there, get your money, turn up. You know what I'm saying? But make sure home is taken care of.
Of course. And I love that you listen to your wife.
Oh, no, absolutely.
What else has she told you that was 100% correct? Like, just go ahead and, give her the flowers that she deserves.
I don't have enough time to tell you, right? Like, to be honest. And, yeah, no, and I bring my wife into every situation. I bring my wife into business meetings. I bring her into the studio. She comes to concerts. Pretty much everywhere I'm at, with the exception of today. She didn't come here, but she's in New York. She's here in New York with me. But I offer her an entry point into what I'm doing because she gives an alternative perspective. So I go into a business meeting, and I'm looking at this person and that person because that's who I'm there to speak to.
Right.
Meanwhile, she's looking at what everyone else in the room is doing,
right.
How people are reacting to the conversation, that the people I'm there to see, how we're having that conversation, and of other people taking notes. And she might be like, who was the dude in the blue shirt?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's the assistant. Every time you said something, he looked at the boss, and the boss looked at it. Like, she's picking up different things in the room. You know what I'm saying? So she's a very, very important and vital piece into everything that I do.
Now, you guys have been married for what? Over 20 years, 22 years, right?
Absolutely.
What is the key to this successful marriage?
Well, it's the fact that I'm so transparent about everything, right? I exist in a space where I see a lot of dudes live with women, bring women into their lives that they don't trust. So, like, they don't have access to different accounts. They don't know where all the money is. And that never really made sense to me because that's your first line of defense if something happens to you.
Yes.
And I never understood why somebody would have a woman in their lives or anyone in their life that they wouldn't trust.
Right.
Especially the most important role. Like, a wife is the most important role. She plays the most important key into a lot of things coming together and working in your life. Why would you share that with somebody that you didn't trust? That don't make no sense to me. And her opinion is very valid. She sees things from a different perspective. When I'm more logic-minded, you know what I'm saying? So for me, 2 + 2 got to make 4. It don't make sense. But she understands that there are nuances. Not that 2 + 2 obviously doesn't equal 4, but there's other things that I'm not taking into consideration sometimes. And she always keeps me on my toes about that.
I love hearing that. That is so beautiful. Keep listening to your wife.
I'm trying.
She's
amazing. It's a lot easier if she's wrong and I can deal with that than if I'm wrong and she got to deal with that.
Yeah.
That's a whole different conversation. So it's best. I realized after trying to do everything my way, I was like, you know what? Let's just give her away a shot.
Yeah.
And then it worked, and we just kept doing it and kept doing it. And now she's a vital, integral part of everything that we do.
Wives, I hate to say it, we're the most important, man.
Look, it's just easier.
Yeah.
It's just easier.
It is. It's easier. Okay, I want to talk about your song Better Believe It.
Yes.
Because first off, I love LaRussell. Never had a chance to have a conversation with him. No idea who he is or anything, but everything that he stands for, so far, I'm liking it.
It's inspiring. It's really inspiring to watch somebody take on the world like this.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's obvious that he's underestimated, right? It's obviously that he's not fully funded like a lot of people are in the industry. But none of that hinders him from getting his message to the people.
He thrives in that.
Yes, absolutely. I believe that he knows that the key to everything he's trying to get to is through the people.
Yeah.
So instead of thinking that I have to go through this outlet or this platform or these people to get to those people, he's just dialing it in direct. He's going peer-to-peer directly to the people, offering them an entry point and offering them a place to be like a full part of the process. You know what I'm saying? Letting people be executive producers of the album, letting people pick what they want to pay for music, doing concerts in his backyard.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That leaves little to no separation between yourself and the fans. When your fans know where you live, there's no separation at that point. So they can either choose to aggravate you or protect you. And I feel like the way he presents himself to people, they want to protect him. I think he's a perfect example of that can-do spirit, that DIY, West Coast, Bay Area mentality of doing it outside of the system. And they want to see him win. He's a man of the people. So the people will elevate him. They'll protect him. They'll encourage him. And I just felt when Cory gave me this track, I was like, this is inspirational. This is uplifting. This is motivating. We got to put an artist on this that reflects that. And LaRussell was the first and only choice, in my opinion.
Let's pull Cory Mo in, who obviously longtime producer with you.
Yes.
So did you initially know, you're like, I don't know if Bun B's going to like LaRussell, or did you know immediately, like, this is going to be a situation?
He's the one that told me that we should get LaRussell on.
Oh.
I don't even think he was super new at the time.
Yeah, no, that's the one
really
thing
popular
about the music that Cory and I do. We try to bring in people that already have like a proven track record and people have an understanding of. But also, I love to bring in new talent. I love to see someone, hear them, feel them, think they should be uplifted. Right? I want to put them in position.
Yeah.
Because people put me in position. E40 helped put me in position. Too Short helped put me in position. Scarface, Jay Prince, these people help put me in position. So I'm trying to put the next generation of people in position. So when we hear a song and I'm like, you know what, who would sound great on this? I'll be like, this person. He'll be like, who?
Yeah.
He'll be like, who is that dude?
Yeah.
I'll be like, no, and we've done it over again. Larry June. You know what I'm saying? Another guy that
How are you seeing this ahead before anybody else?
He does this with everybody.
What is it that you're seeing in artists early on before we realize their greatness? You're seeing it literally in the beginning.
The talent is easy, right? The fact that people have the talent to create a great record, I think that's easier than many people realize, right? But the idea of the character of the person, the drive, what's motivating them, how intentional are they about their message, those are things that separate artists, right? And you don't have to be an old, grounded, seasoned artist to have that, right? It's something that's very clear. And every now and then I see a little bit of myself. I see myself fighting the system, you know what I'm saying? Overcoming the odds, you know what I'm saying? Trying to make my dream and my team's dream come true. And that's a big thing that I liked about LaRussell, because it's a collective.
Yeah.
It's not just about him. He's trying to create something for him and every single person on his team. And that's kind of the thing I like about it.
Same thing with Monaleo, too. I didn't know who she was, and he'd send me the Instagram and say, yo, she finna blow. Same thing with Larry June. Same thing with LaRussell. It's multiple people. He'll just, hey, check them out. And I make the music. I try to curate the hooks and stuff like that. And when I send it to him, it's over with.
And it's a big deal to have you on a song, by the way. You know this, Bun B, but when we're seeing like Bryson Tiller and just newer artists, we'll categorize it like that, who actively want you on their song, right?
Yeah.
Are you having a moment like, yeah, of course you do, or are you like, how do you receive this information?
It's incredible that at this stage in my career, like, to be appreciated. I started rapping for some of these artists who are even alive, right? To be honest, Bryson Tiller is younger than 32 years old. I've been making music for 32 years. So I've been creating since he got here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So just the fact that the people around him introduced him to this music, you know, we get a lot of big brothers and uncles and parents introducing their children into our music. And obviously a lot of times parents will be like, yo, this was my jam when I was growing up. And people are like, oh, Dad, don't nobody want to hear that. But every now and then there's a young person that for some reason or another, what I did, you know, decades ago connects, makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And they run with it. They grow up. You know, they push the line for it. They tell people, you know, this group is great. Excuse me. And then they eventually become artists. And now they come back to me and be like, look, I want to do a record that harkens up this sound or this era and speaks to this type of thing. And I think you're the person for it. You know what I'm saying? And that's a blessing to me, you know, because they don't have to have me be a part of their process, you know what I'm saying? But they bring me in, they welcome me, they're excited about collaborating with me, and I feel like I deliver every way that these people need me to deliver for their project. And now, you know, guys like Benny the Butcher, I'm on his album, and then 2 weeks later, you know what I'm saying, it's the Jack Boys, and then 3 weeks after that, it's Bryson Tiller, and then 2 weeks after that, it's Jay Worthy. Like, I have all of these newer artists that are coming in and taking over, and they'll be like, yo, I want to bring Bun B with me. And I mean, I'm so appreciative. That's crazy.
Cory, what is happening right now?
Because so long ago, he would introduce me to these artists.
Long
years
before
ago.
all
years
before where
ago.
they're at now.
Before everybody knew who they were. He would introduce them to me first.
How are you coming across the songs? Like
I try to listen to everything because I do this thing every year called Trill Static with Static Selector. And what we like to do is basically we create an album in one day. And we try to have all the people on the album in the studio at the same time.
I love
and
that.
so a lot of these guys, the younger guys especially, they're hungry. You know what I'm saying? They really want to get on. So it allows me, after 30 years, to still be able to test my metal with the next generation. They keep me sharp. They keep me in tune. They keep me on my toes more than anything. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like if I get in the room and rap against, because we have like 13, 14 features, right? And so this guy will rap against that guy, but I got to rap against everybody in the room. So I gotta make sure that I'm saying stuff that can keep up with this guy who's from here, say things that are in tune with these guys that are from over in this region and all of that. So it's just a fun little exercise.
Who on this album kept you on your toes?
That's a great question. I would say Akeem Ali. Akeem Ali is a really, really good fresh talent. He's out of Jackson, Mississippi, and when I say this boy can rap, this boy can rap. Like, he is really, really good at what he does. And we sought him out. I was like, I think this song would be good for Akeem Ali. But I sent it to him. I had already done what I was going to do. The hook was set. And when I tell you this dude over-delivered, because the song was supposed to be a 16, I think he might have done a 20 or a 24. Like, he went further than what was required of him. And I didn't change a word of it. I thought he nailed it. And that's going to be another guy that you hear in about a year from now. You're going to be like, yo, Bun B was the first one to tell me about that dude. This kid is really, really talented.
Have you ever thought about having your own label and just putting people on in general? Like, just like from the very beginning? Or is that too much work? It feels like it's a lot.
I thought about it, but I don't want to be beholden to artists in that way. I would love to just motivate them, put them in position, give them a phone number, help them take a meeting. You know what I'm saying? Let them get in front of the people that they need to be in front of. But I believe most of them can take it from there. I think it's really just about having the confidence, right? Having a support team behind you and being prepared. So that's my thing, is to get behind them, let them know, you know, you got it. You know what I'm saying? You are competent enough to do this. I think you got the talent. I think we just need to get this song played the right way and put it in front of the right people. That's what my brother Hood does. Finds great talent out there, and I watched him do it for decades, right? So now I feel like I can spot talent when I see it.
Clearly.
But it's a lot to be like a manager or a CEO of record labels, because a lot of these young kids got a lot going on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I really prefer to be at home, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like there's more than enough stuff that I can do to help put a young artist that I feel is talented, has the character, has the motivation and the drive. There's more than enough things I can do to put them in position.
Yeah, for sure.
Without them having to look to me for money, you know.
Don't come to me for the money.
I don't want to. I don't want that call at 3 a.m. We just got kicked out the hotel for smoking weed.
Yeah.
So
I don't want to deal with that. It's too much.
It's a lot.
It's too much. Which song on the album came together the fastest? Meaning it was the easiest. It was light work, and it felt organic in that regard.
That's a good question. I would say Everywhere We Go. Everywhere We Go, because it's got my contemporaries on it. It's got Juicy J on it and Project Pat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Two brothers that have incredible contributions to hip hop. And Pimp C is on the hook. That makes these things easier as well. And it was one of those Cory Mo beats that are familiar, right? When I say familiar, it falls right in sync with music that I've been doing for years. You know what I'm saying? So it sounds timely, but it's also reminiscent of songs that you've heard from me before. So it's me, it's my brother, it's two of my contemporaries. It's a track that's very easy for me to get into, and it's just a very simple, quick process. You know what I'm saying? These songs write themselves.
Which song was the hardest to put together?
That's a good question. I would say Still Outside, because
Why?
Still Outside is about perspective. It's about the fact that after all these years that I'm still outside, I'm still doing it. And it also addresses the perceived division between the older artists and the younger artists. I think there's things that younger artists can learn from the youth in terms of social media and, all these different apps and streaming. There's a lot of things, manipulating the algorithm for a lot of things. They're very good and adept at that type of thing. But then there's things that older artists can teach younger artists because they're more experienced. They can help you avoid a lot of the obstacles. They can let you know who does what and why you should really be rocking with these people. Or if somebody's trying to sell you a dream that all you got to do is give them X amount of money, we can help you avoid that kind of stuff. So I think both generations have a lot to learn from each other. That's why I'm glad that I reach out to the next generation of artists, and then they reciprocate and reach back out to me.
When you were coming up, who did that for you?
E40, Too Short, Scarface, Willie D specifically. Those were the OGs that reached out, recognized that I had talent, but I was pretty green, myself and Pimp. So they just wanted to make sure, no, don't go right, go left right here, go left. Go left now type of a thing.
Like
you know
now,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
So they were, that was my, career ways, my career Google Maps. Like, guys making sure I took the right route, the quickest route to get where I wanted to go. Because when you're young, you're just throwing everything up against the wall. You're exercising a lot of energy in the wrong places sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
These are guys that helped keep me focused, gave us direction, and put us in position if possible.
What's the connection between Southern hip-hop and the Bay? Because you've said 40 and Too Short, and there's a synergy, right?
Absolutely, because
where did this connect? Can you break that down a little bit? Because I feel like sometimes people overlook the Bay and when it comes to Southern hip hop in general. But there is a strong connection.
Yeah. So I think both regions represent that independent can-do spirit.
That's it.
But more than anything, right?
Yeah.
Like, we're hustlers, we can get money, whatever, but we're very far removed from the it crowd, right? We're,
Los Angeles and New York.
Absolutely.
Correct.
So we had to figure out how to make these things work ourselves in our region.
Right.
And then word of mouth played a huge part in our careers. DJ pools, which I don't know if that really exists anymore like that. People would spread records around. People would get records from other cities and not really know who it was or what it was about, but they felt the connection to it. They gave it to the people. You know what I'm saying? But no one ever, I think, outside of the South, of Houston to be particular, and San Francisco, no one ever had more musical symmetry and more synergy, right? We both understood we were fighting the same battle, right? Even though they were trying to get to L.A., we were trying to get to New York or wherever the music was being received. We knew that it was always strength in numbers. So you go back through the 90s, you'll see a lot of collaboration with the Bay and Houston artists, you know what I'm saying? Some of my closest friendships are with people from the Bay. Again, E40 Too Short, guys like Spice One. Me and Spice One we both just collaborated on Jay Worthy's new album, you know what I'm saying? So we're still out, still active. Guys like Ice Cube, guys that have learned to be self-sufficient, self-sustained. You know what I'm saying? Operating outside of the system, but still making that connection to the people. They were the first people that realized you don't have to go through a radio station. No disrespect, right? But you don't have to. It's an option, but it's not the best option for everybody. Everybody doesn't make music that's radio friendly.
Right.
So you've got to find other ways of getting that music to people and finding your audience. Now, the internet and YouTube levels the playing field, but back then it was word of mouth and getting in the car and going from city to city. And nobody was doing that more than us.
It's a big question, but how would have your career turned out if you did have the internet back then?
I think it would have been some advantages to it. I think it would have been a lot easier to find people that appreciated what we were doing in real time, but then I also think that we were too raw. We were just I'll be very honest, we were way too raw. People did not need to know what we were doing all the time. They did not need to know how we were moving. And there was some shit we were doing that people didn't need to know about at all. Some people we were around that, it probably wouldn't have reflected in the best way at the time. You know what I'm saying? I think we could have made a lot more money, but I think we would have got jammed up.
Yeah.
I think it would have been a lot easier for us to get jammed up because we were wild boys.
When you see now artists on social media, are you just like, oof, I don't know about posting that. I don't know about moving like that. And do you give any insight if somebody asks you? I mean, I know you're not giving unsolicited advice, but, as somebody that you look out for, do you ever say, hey, maybe not today?
I think some of them already have a sense that they might have tripped because it'll be like, oh, gee, did I trip out? It'll be that kind of thing. Like, did I don't know if I should have posted. Oh, but you felt a certain type of way and you ran with it. And now you're getting them comments that don't agree with what you thought everybody thought was what you were saying. You know what I'm saying? So now you're trying to figure out, how do I fix this? How do I rethink this? And that's the reality. Once you put it out there, you can't take it back.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, I feel like you should ask yourself 5 times and then ask somebody you love a 6th time, right? And just really think about, should I do this? Should I say this? What's the repercussions? Talk through it. Really think about what's happening. And if you still feel you need to do it and you can handle the pushback or the blowback,
that's right.
Push sand, my boy.
Yeah.
Push sand, my boy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Go for it. I ain't gonna hold you.
Right. What I really appreciate is that it was important for you to make sure Cory was part of the conversation for this new album. How instrumental has Cory been when it comes to music and just everything that you've had going on? Because I think producers, we just had this conversation that producers really don't get the credit that they probably deserve. How instrumental has Cory been on this album and previously?
I mean, look, he's the soundscape, right? So everything I do is reactive to what Cory presents. So I'm not telling Cory, go sample this and go make this song and because I have a preconceived notion of what I want to do. No, I give room for Cory to come in and, be like, hey, I think this is a good song for you.
And you don't take it personal if he gives you a little,
I'm going to give him grief anyway, right? I give Cory a lot of tough love, right? Because I know how much talent Cory has, and so I always push him to be the best version of himself.
Yeah.
So even if Cory gives me a 9, I'm going to give him grief because I know he can give me a 10.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but that way Cory knows when he's bringing something to me, he's got to feel like he's giving me the best thing he's got.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he knows it's going to be a problem if I don't like it. And because we've done so much music, he already knows the tempo I like to rap at. He knows the subject matter I'll lean into. He also, like he said earlier today, it was funny. He's like, I also know what you don't like.
What don't you like?
I
Corey,
don't like.
wait, no, tell us. What doesn't Bun B like?
He don't like nothing, man. So he don't like when people sample old classic UGK records and try to get him to re-rap on them. He don't like hooks that are half done in the beginning of the song.
He got a certain way he like to present music. It just rubs me the wrong way.
And he definitely don't like artists that can't rap extremely well because they won't make our album.
Yeah, this is I try to pick the best people.
You know what I'm
absolutely.
saying? And it has to have that, you know what I mean? I grew up not only listening to Pimp C, but Pimp C taught me everything as far as the mixing process, the hooks, the sampling, the getting live instruments, how it should sound, what I shouldn't add. So I'm so consumed into what Pimp taught me, I know what to give Bun and what not to give him.
Damn. Yeah. Okay, that's great chemistry.
Yes.
Right?
You got to give these guys room to experiment, right? That's the other thing, too. Like, every now and then, Cory will send me something. I'll be like, I don't know if I like this. And he'll be like, well, I sent it to you 2 years ago, and you said you did, right? And it's always like that. Then I'll hear here's a funny thing. I'll hear Cory, because Cory, he produces for a lot of other people, right? Sure. So I'll hear something that Cory produced for somebody. Yeah, for example, and I'll be like, say, bro, what was that beat when I was recording? I ain't getting nothing like that. He was like,
Cory, why'd you hold out?
And then Cory will say, check your email.
I sent it to him
I sent it to him.
Did you see how, I just assumed too? Oh, my.
Yeah.
So 9 times out of 10, if I make a beat and I know that it's one of them ones, I always send it to Bun first.
He sent it to me first.
And then he'll be like, it's cool.
Which song did you overlook that Cory sent you?
It was a Ball and G song. It was an A-Ball and MJG song. I can't think of it right now.
Probably this. It was a song called "Take a Picture" that I produced for Ball and G, and he called me. Hey man, when you do that beat, how come you ain't send that to me?
Me and my wife will always be like, my wife would be like, Cory, you ain't send that. Hey, you ain't send us that one. You know what I'm saying? And he'd be like, Bun, check your email.
Search the name.
Pull up a screenshot and send it to him. Yes, I did.
Wow.
Then I gotta.
Yeah, that's happening.
Gotta check the emails.
Then I gotta bite my tongue for a couple minutes. You know what I'm saying? But it always works out. I give him a lot of grief. You know what I'm saying? But I get the best out of him, and I give him my best. You know what I'm saying? And because it's always the best intention from us to give the people the best effort. You know what I'm saying? So we got to hold each other accountable every now and then, but it lends itself to the best project.
Yeah. What's been your favorite memory of Pimp C?
The laughing. I don't think people realize how silly he was. You know what I'm saying? Because that wasn't necessarily, and don't get me wrong, you look at a lot of interviews, and he's having a great time with life. He really, really enjoyed life. But we never argued in the studio. We never really had opposing views, you know what I'm saying? We understood the direction we were going in, but we always took different ways. But we always ended up exactly where we needed to. But the level of humor that we used to have in the studio, sometimes people can, sit around trying to look hard and act tough and stuff and all that in the studio, and that was never us. We were always very relaxed, very comfortable around each other, and we never really had nothing to prove. So he could crack on me, I could crack on him. I'd be like, you gonna wear some shorts this week? Because Pimp never wore shorts. So I would always tell him, I never saw him in my entire life with shorts. And I'd be like, man, we got that show in Miami. You gonna wear them shorts this weekend? And he would just look at you crazy because you already knew he wasn't gonna wear no shorts. You know what I'm saying? But we had a really, really great friendship. You know what I'm saying? We understood each other very well, and we had a great time creating all that timeless music together. And Cory was in the room soaking up a lot of that game. So, to be honest and fair, a lot of that still lives on through people like Cory and people like Steve B-Lo and people like Jazzy Faye. You know what I'm saying? People that are not just great producers in their own right, but they learned a lot being around Pimp C, and they're able to continue that legacy on through their music as well.
How about for you, Cory? A favorite memory?
A Pimp?
And maybe even interacting with just Bun B, and you saw that dynamic, and it's something that stays with you to this very day.
You know what? I remember when Pimp got out of jail, and it was the first session that him and Bun was in together in 4 or 5 years, and I think it was the Isley Brother record, was it? Mm-hmm. And Pimp came in there and Bun was in there, and I very rarely see them in the studio together because Pimp would normally come in at 3, 4 in the morning and Bun would come in at 10, 11 in the morning. So they wouldn't be in the studio together a lot.
It's so great,
But this one particular song that they did with the Isley Brothers, they was in there together, and they were scrolling through Pimp's laptop, going through beats, and he kept going, what you think about this, Bun? What you think about this? And then he stopped, and Bun said, wait a minute, what was that? And it was the beat to International Players Anthem. And that's the only beat that Buns told him to stop. He said, wait, what's that? And Pimp looked at him and say, man, Paul sent this to me. Remember that?
Yep.
And Bun was like, wait a minute, but didn't they do that? Pimp was like, we finna do it again.
Well, that was Pimp's thing, was like it was a hit record. You know what I'm saying? But it never got the look that it needed to get. And they were like, he was like, well, I think it's a hit. I think, I'll rap to that. Because the whole point was to get a new beat. And they were like, we got new beats. It's not a problem. But he was like, no, that beat in particular, that's a hit record. Never got the exposure, and I'm going to show you. And then we got on it, and the rest is history.
Absolutely.
But nobody had a better ear than Pimp. Like, he could see and hear things that people would just kind of write off. And he was like, no, that's the point. That's why this record is good. That's why it's essential.
How was it when you decided to put your solo album out, right? Like, how did you navigate that? We don't know if like duos or just groups in general have falling out, or was it pretty clear that you also wanted to do your own thing? Like, was there ever any issues? Or
I never wanted to be a solo artist. I felt like I was in the best group in the world. I had to do it out of necessity because unfortunately Pimp went to prison. And so that was the only way I could see to keep his name going, keep the group's name going, and keep this whole career that we had built up all this time, make it something that would still be available for him when he came home from prison. I never wanted to be a solo artist, so I had to call people like Cory, call people like Lil Jon, call people like Jazzy Faye and Mannie Fresh, producers that were good friends of mine, understood what I was trying to do and lent their professionalism to me. You know what I'm saying? Call rappers like Ludacris and T.I., and everybody could see the situation, right? Everybody loved Pimp like I did, so they wanted Pimp to have something to come home to like I did, so that was the main thing. It was one of the most selfless things I'd ever done. Because doing a solo album is typically for you to have your moment and take your shine.
Right.
But what I learned was that I had the confidence and the wherewithal that if I needed to take the lead, because Pimp had taken the lead for so long, but that if I needed to take the lead, that I was actually built for it, you know what I'm saying, and ready to take on that duty.
Where was your mindset at during that time? Pimp C's going to jail. Now, all eyes are on you.
Right.
What was going through your mind?
I wasn't really prepared for it. I had been very lucky to just kind of sit in the background and let Pimp take the lead because that's really what he wanted to do. But at that point, I had no one to hide behind, right? It was me on the stage by myself taking lead. And it wasn't just about me, right? It wasn't just about the idea of Pimp, but there were other people dependent on me at that same time. My family was dependent on me. Different artists were dependent on me. So I had to get myself together. I went through a lot of depression, you know what I'm saying? I leaned into a lot of drinking at that time, but I got back reacquainted with God. I got back in a good church, and that put me in a position to get on solid footing and grounding. And then I just built a right team around me, my wife, my management, guys like Cory, guys like Josh and Chemist. And, I just built a tight circle around me to keep me motivated, keep me on my feet. And we just put our best foot forward, and it ended up working.
I feel like that's rare to have that kind of support.
Support is essential. And I know a lot of people out there that are probably listening to this are having to go through a life of tough times and situations where they don't have a support system. You know what I'm saying? And so I know that I'm blessed. I know that, in spite of how bad things looked, I had people to hold me up. I had people to keep me lifted up when I felt down. You know what I'm saying? So I've tried to be that person. There's so many artists, there's so many individuals and young people that just need to know that somebody cares. You know what I'm saying? I've just tried to be that for people.
And that moment, here we are talking about your debut album, Trill, turning 20 years old, classic.
Yes.
One word right now in how you would describe that moment for you.
Transcendent. Really transcendent, because it took me out of one perspective and one frame and one way of looking at things and realizing that I wasn't as defeated as I thought I was. I wasn't as alone as I thought I was, and I wasn't behind the ball as much as I thought I was. I wasn't really giving myself a lot of credit because, to be honest, I was feeling too sorry for myself to give myself any credit. You know what I'm saying? But I had the right people around me that kept me lifted up, got me back reacquainted with God, put me in a good church, right? Let me realize, look at this world. Look at what some people have to live with and deal with. You are not as broken and downbeaten as you think you are. You actually got way more going for yourself than a lot of people in this world. Lean into that and get out there and show people who you are.
What's the biggest difference with Bun B then and now?
The awareness of the power and the leverage that I have available to me, how I can utilize it for things that I need to, but also make it available for other people. You know what I'm saying? The fact of trust that I've been able to build up with people all these years, that allows me to say, hey, you know who you guys need to know about? This artist. This artist is great. You know what you guys need to do? You need to know about this organization. They're doing great things for people. You know who's killing it right now? This team of people, right? They're in these neighborhoods and they're doing great work. Allowing myself to grow in a way that helps other people has been essential for me. And for the right people doing it in my life and the right people showing me how it's done in my life, it just lets me know that there's more I should be doing. And so we lean into that. This rap stuff, maneuvering all of this is very easy. But leaving an imprint behind, like sewing into communities and sewing into people, that's something that, you know, every day my wife and I was like, there's something more we got to be doing. There's something else we're missing. There's somebody we didn't touch. We got to do that kind of stuff. For her, it's a necessity. Like, she can't even sleep right if she sees that people are disadvantaged or people are being held back or anything like that. She can't even rest. You know what I'm saying? So we got to get up at 3 a.m. and go over to the neighborhood and help this family and bring them some clothes or something like that. It just, you know, we feel like we're leaving anybody behind. We can't take any joy or pleasure in what we're doing moving forward.
What's been the hardest lesson that you've learned during this time?
That I don't know what I think I know. There's so many things that I thought I knew and understood, but that was only from my perspective. I realized I wasn't reading the room in the right way.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
How? Wow.
Because I was only going into rooms thinking of what people could do for me. But I didn't realize that in some of these rooms, there's a little bit more give and take than it seems. Like, you go into a meeting and these people seem like they have all this power and all this influence. And you're like, what can I do to make these people care about what I'm doing? You know what I'm saying? And in those moments, you got to realize, like, it's not really about you. Like, you're representing people when you walk in these rooms. You're representing someone's voice, someone's needs. You know what I'm saying? So I just try to turn the perspective on its head when I walk in these rooms. And instead of me going in there and talk about what I'm going to do, no, give me this and watch what I do for the world. Watch the change that I can make in the world. We'll do more than raise the stock price for your company. You know what I'm saying? We'll do something that not only makes you money, but makes you feel good at night. Makes you sleep good.
What does Trill mean to you now versus back then?
It's always meant the same thing, just going above and beyond what's expected of you, right? Like, we're in this room now. It's very easy for me to talk about the good things that we've done and all the things that we've done. But when I'm not in a room like this, like, how do I lift Cory up? When I'm not talking to tens of thousands or millions of people, like, how do I make sure that Cory gets his due? Right? You know what I'm saying? How do I make sure that the people behind me that support me, that are in this room, like Truck, every room I walk into, Truck is in that room making sure I'm good. Every time I come to New York, people like Hood show up and make sure I'm good in the city. It's important to give those people their flowers. It's important to let people know that I appreciate what they do for me. You know what I'm saying? You're not just my friend, because I got a lot of friends, but these are my brothers.
Yeah.
Every guy in this room with me are my brothers. Destiny is becoming a sister very quick. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I'm a blessed man. I'm a lucky man that I'm surrounded by these great people. And so because of that, I should expect myself to do great things. Yeah. I've got everything that I need to put myself in position. If I don't get in position, that's on me.
Damn. Have you seen this post online? Somebody by the name of @_GDB. And it's an interesting take. I don't know if you saw this post, but they said, Bun B said Pimp C found out that D'Angelo was making his music with the same equipment Pimp used to make his. And Pimp said, okay, I need to read that manual. Is that true?
Yeah. So we were working here in New York at Battery Studios. We were recording. And I was actually in the booth and Pimp's in the control room. And this kid walks in, and he's got on a hoodie, he's got braids, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, who is this? He look kind of like a thug, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm talking, like, I'm like, yo, Pimp, who is that? But they're talking, so he doesn't have the button, so he can't really hear. Yeah, talk back, so he can't tell me nothing. So I'm like, nah, let me go out. And then I go out there, and I'm like, what's going on? He like, man, it's D'Angelo, bro. This Brown Sugar. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, what's up? What's up? He was like, nah, man. He said, man, this dude told me he did his whole album on the ASR 10. That was the machine, the sequencing machine that we were using at the time. And I said, what you mean? He said, man, the man did the strings, the guitars. He did everything in this machine. People was like, man, I should have read the manual. You know what I'm saying?
It's so great.
You know what I'm saying? Because he never read the manual. He just kind of opened up the box, plugged it in, and figured it out his way.
Yeah.
Right. But
it worked his way.
It worked his way, but he realized he was underutilizing this machine seriously. You know what I'm saying?
Now, you've been in the game at this point over 30 years. What do you credit your longevity to?
That's a good question. I think for me, it's important to be the same person every time you see me. So for people that have known me in 92 and how I got down in 92, which was, I was a little loose and reckless, I ain't gonna lie. But for the most part, my intentions have always been the same. What I've been trying to do, who I've been trying to be, all of that has never really changed. So if you was cool with me in 95 and you see me in 2005, you're going to still be cool with me because I'm going to pretty much be the same person. You see me in 2015, even with 2025. You ask anybody that knows me, they can attest I haven't changed up on people. I don't know if that's because I haven't made it. I am not rich enough to change on people, so I need to grind a little bit more, but I see no need to be a different person for people. It's a lot easier for me to just be myself than try to remember who I'm supposed to be in front of this person or that person.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying?
You have integrity.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and we're going to live by it. And I'll be honest, I don't need friends. I choose to have people in my life, but I don't need friends. So the normal things that people do to make people like them, I don't really feel the need to do that for people. I'm going to be myself. And if you like it and you rock with it, cool, let's go. And if not, I'm good regardless. I'll be very honest. I don't care.
Yeah.
When I say I really, really don't, I'm going to keep it pushing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I try to be careful. I tell people, you're going to see everybody in this world twice. Once when you need them, and once when they need you.
I like
and
that.
how you treat one situation is going to determine how the other situation plays out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I just try to keep it solid, right? I just try to be who I am in the moment. If I can do for you, I will. If I can deliver, I will. If I can't, I will tell you I can't. I'm not finna be like, well, let me get with my man and let me figure it out and try to push you off and all that. Pimp used to call it club talk because anybody in the club, when you leaning into them and talking, they're like, yeah, let's do it. I'm with it. Hit my man. Hit me up. Yeah. All of that. And then next week, you can't get nobody on the phone. Nothing. So I'm going to just keep it 100 with you. And, you know, if it worked, you call me back, that's cool. If you don't,
it's
really,
fine.
I swear to God, I don't care. I don't care. I got a wife. I got children. I got grandchildren. Believe me, I have a number of things to care about. You are not necessary. I really don't have room for you.
That part.
In my life. But if it's important and I think it's a necessary need to it, I'll make room. But other than that, you can keep it pushing.
What do you consider, like for you, what do you consider your big break?
I would have to say Big Pimpin'. I ain't gonna lie. You know, I've had some other moments where songs hit and it kind of stretched us out, but that really put us on like an international level because that record was, for one, in the year 2000, no record played more anywhere than that record. It was the biggest record of the year, and it was a worldwide hit record. So it's my international calling card. I can go to pretty much any country and any city in the world, perform that song, and people will know that song. You know what I'm saying? Because it meant the same thing to everybody. And it's still 25 years later. If you cut Big Pimpin' on in the club, it still goes up. I don't care what age demographic you're playing that in what club that is, man, that's, it's going to go. It's really still going to go. And that's a blessing to me. You know what I'm saying? Now, I still have other huge records. International Players Anthem, I would argue, is just as big of a record. You know what I'm saying? So I'm good, right? If I never have another hit record, I have songs that I could play, you know, realistically into my golden age.
That's right. Classics.
Yeah, absolutely.
Transcends time. Absolutely.
Yes.
How do you define success now versus back then? And, you know, getting your first deal or your big break or whatever it is. Like, what does success look like for you at this moment in your life?
It's still pretty much the same, taking care of family, taking care of responsibilities. It's only now I'm in a place where I can do everything I need to do with my family every way I've always done it, and I can get home earlier. That's
Isn't it nice to get home with the sun up sometimes? It's like, I can get dinner.
To be home, done for the day, but still hit those numbers by 5 o'clock, can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. I'm so good. I'm so good. I just love the idea of being able to do everything that my family needs me to do to stay as accomplished as successful as I have without having to take more time. I've taken so much time away from my family over all of these years. There's so many things I missed with my children. And now that I'm a grandparent, I don't want to miss nothing.
Yeah.
So I will start way much more earlier in the day. I'll work twice as hard so I can get done with enough time to pick up my granddaughter from school or take my grandson to basketball practice. Because that's what really means, that's what I really value right now. The money I value, and I realize that if you ask your kids would they have preferred the money or the time, they will always tell you the time. You know what I'm saying? So I realize now that with my grandchildren, I don't have to give up that time in order to be successful. I'm a better businessman, so I know how to compartmentalize these things. So things can be working without me necessarily having to be right there in the place in the moment. Yeah. And so that just affords me a little bit more time to fully enjoy my family.
What would 20-year-old Bun B say, looking at you now? What would he have been impressed with your life right now?
Burgers.
Burgers.
Burgers. The idea that I started a business.
That's right.
Saw it through. That I sacrificed for this company because every weekend we did a pop-up was a weekend I was supposed to be out of town doing the show. So I'm making $1,000, $1,500, sacrificing $25,000, $30,000 because I'm believing in the future of this company. And now everyone sees I made the right decisions in building this brand. And there was a 20-year-old me was so irresponsible. Right? So not focused on that, would not have wanted employees, would not have wanted to talk to all the people that I had to talk to build this company, to take time out of my busy life to go and do that. It was nothing I loved more than rap at that time. And this was something for the first time I was actually, outside of my wife, to fall in love with. And to wake up every day wanting to know more, wanting to educate myself, wanting to call people, wanting to read books, just wanting to be on top of my game for this because I can see that while my career has afforded me a level of comfort for myself and my family and has made things easier, this is generational wealth that I'm playing with if it's done right.
Did you see that there was a void or what made you want to do this?
I was just approached with the product. Someone approached me with the product. I tasted it. I fully believed in it.
Yeah.
And to the point where I was like, I want to be a part of this company. So they offered me basically a sponsorship.
Sure.
Pay me a couple of bucks to show up at pop-ups, or I could jump in the water with them, and they would give me a substantial part of the company. And I chose to get out there and move like that.
Which celebrity has stopped by that garnered, I don't know, the most attention?
Mike Tyson.
Really?
Easily. Far and away, Mike Tyson.
I thought it would be Drake.
I'll tell you why. Everybody thinks it's Drake.
Yeah.
The reality is, for better or for worse, I take no pride in this. Everyone doesn't see everyone the same way.
Sure.
Right? So there could be a day where Drake could walk in and everybody could be like, oh my God.
Right.
And there could be a day where you walk in and some people really don't have a frame of reference because we're such a diverse restaurant. So we're not a hip hop restaurant, right? We're a restaurant owned by a hip hop artist. But we get everyone from the city, young, old, white, black, Latina, straight, gay, you name the alphabet, they come. Everybody comes because it's a Houston restaurant. Mm-hmm. So everyone that identifies as a Houstonian shows up at the restaurant.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't have to worry about the type of things that other people have to worry about because I know I'm reaching the city in a real way.
So it was Mike Tyson.
Yes, absolutely. Mike Tyson.
I like that.
Everybody sees Mike the same way. Like Mike's the champ.
Yeah.
Everybody sees. And then Mike was the most personable person that has ever come in. Mike Tyson came in a Trill Burger. He looked around, he ate some food, and he sat down at a table for an hour and a half.
Damn.
And just relaxed and took pictures with anybody that wanted to take a picture. He sat at a table, so he was in one seat, say this is the seat next to him. This was empty. So somebody would walk up, they wanted a picture, like, yeah, sit down. He'd lean. He'd take the picture and go back on his thing. And I was like, Mike, you good? Man, I'm good. I'm good. I'm having a good time. Like it was crazy. He felt the beauty of Mike Tyson coming to my restaurant was one thing. But the absolute joy of him feeling so comfortable is something that I wouldn't trade for anything because that's what I want. I want a restaurant, a business that everybody comes in and they could take a deep sigh of relief and just relax
and enjoy themselves.
Enjoy themselves. And they realize, like, people always come in, and our seating is communal. So you may have to sit at a table with other people that you don't know, but everybody's there kind of for the same thing.
That's right.
You know, some people don't know who I am as a rapper. Some people are lifelong fans,
Yeah.
you know, and those people meet at a table and they're able to give each other different perspectives about this. You know what I'm saying? So we create more than just good food and a great experience. You know what I'm saying? We try to create an environment that allows people to commune. Like, that's the true term of commune, is to sit down and to get to know each other. That's what we want. And people that commune will eventually become a community.
What's harder, running a restaurant or making an album?
Oh, restaurant. And I'll tell you why, because I can put in, let's say, 3 months of work for a restaurant, put it out, and everybody buys it, and the job is done. A restaurant is, I have to create an album. Every burger is an album.
Wow.
Every burger is an album. So I have to create a pleasant experience for every single person.
You got to show up every single day for every single burger.
Every order is being critiqued. Every single order that I put in front of someone is getting critiqued from the moment they see it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're forming opinions. They're giving ratings on this type of thing, you know? And a bad rating for an album can kill an album. Bad rating for a burger can kill a restaurant.
How serious do you take ratings or just critique or feedback? Like, how do you know someone's saying the truth, right? Their honest opinion about it.
It doesn't matter. Like, if they're talking about their burger doesn't taste good, that's arguable, because my burger's great. We have very few people. People complain about the weight. People complain about the weather. They can complain about a lot of things, but they don't complain about the taste of the burger. You know what I'm saying? So that's something I really don't have to worry about. But we have haters like everybody else.
Sure.
You know, we have people come in and be like, you know, this is a better burger. If you want a better burger, you should go over here. Right? People do. People get in our lines to try to convince people to get out of line and go somewhere else. Yeah. And that's fine. That's really nothing I can do about that. All I can do is prove those people wrong.
You're so positive and very nice about it. Like, I think I'd be like, what?
Because for me, there's only one other way to react, and it don't work. It don't work. Like, that doesn't benefit my company, my partners, or my employees at all.
Right, yeah.
I gotta take love and hate with a grain of salt.
Oof. I wanted to ask you really quick about Mannie Fresh.
Yes.
Were you really going to be part of Big Tymers?
Yeah, I mean, technically that was the thought. You know, I've been doing so much music with them, and had become such a big part of the family, and I was already present on so many songs.
Right.
That they were like, man, why don't you just come on and be a member of the Big Tymers, you know? And we really considered it, but I wouldn't have been a good fit for that group, to be honest.
Why?
I think the juxtaposition of how those two personalities come together work very well in tandem. Yeah. I think the third person would have thrown it off.
Yeah.
You know, could I have been a good member? Could I have done good music? Yeah, sure. But I think that the dynamic of seeing Mannie and Birdman together, you know what I'm saying, embodied something that I think I'd just be a third leg. I'd just be a third leg.
What would you say has been the biggest misconception that people have about you? That people are realizing, oh, that's not even the case with Bun B at all.
That I'm mad. That's the biggest misconception about me, is that I'm mad, because I have like resting Ice Cube scowl on my face. And I don't even realize it, but I'll just be sitting around. You know.
You know what it is? I think more serious. I don't know mad. Do you know what I mean?
What do you think, Truck? Mad or serious? It's mad. It's mad. People think I'm upset all the time. And to be honest, I don't mind that, because I really don't feel like being bothered. So I kind of keep a face. I keep a face that makes it. I keep a face that makes people. I'm gonna leave the man alone. Look, he got something on his mind. I'll try again later.
Serious thoughts right now. Let's just leave him alone. Okay, and finally, what do you want people to take away from your new album? Like, the most powerful takeaway that matters the most to you?
I still got it. That I still got it. That, you know, because if I don't got it, I'll bow out gracefully. I got no problem. I got other things to do. I got burgers on the grill. I got no problem. But as long as I feel I can still do this, I want to do this. As long as I feel like the music I make is contributive to the culture, I want to keep making it. But if there's a day that comes to say, all right, OG, we got it from here, I'll bow out gracefully. I'll go home, you know, I'll sit by the pool and chill out, reminisce, you know, when I was outside with it. But no, that's it. I just want to be a contributive part of the culture through
and you
this
have
music.
been for so many years. What do you ultimately want your legacy to be? You've done so much.
I think I'm putting icing on the cake. I think my legacy is sound. I really do. I think we're just putting icing on the cake, and maybe after that we're going to have to put some strawberries and some other accoutrements. But no, I think I could have stopped at UGK, right? Yeah. And my legacy would have been solid. But being afforded the opportunity to transition into a solo artist has allowed me to take not just myself, but also UGK further, breaking new grounds in different ways. It just extends the legacy. Everything that I'm doing is not to start a new legacy, but to contribute to the legacy I've already built. Because why would I turn my back on 33 years?
Oh, you can't.
You know?
I mean, it's too much. Do you ever go through old songs, just songs that none of us have heard with Pimp C on it, and you're like, I should release this or should I not? I mean, I guess, Cory, this more so for you.
Yeah, Cory.
Like your vault, right? Have you thought of this?
Is there anything really left at this point? I mean...
Right.
There's a song or two. Like, you got to understand, Pimp did a significant amount of music, right? Because we were working on other projects at the time. So there was a nice amount of music left. And I just don't know, even if there is some songs left, I don't know if everything needs to be released.
Sure.
You know, some of those songs are raw. Like, some of those songs could step on some toes and hurt some feelings.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so I don't really know.
Some of them will never come out.
Right. I think, some of these things we got to die with. I'll be honest. Some things you just got to die with. And I don't wish death on anybody, and I'm not promoting or encouraging death, but there are some things that the world might not need to know because it doesn't really help or benefit anybody, you know? I could tell it and people would love to hear it and it'd be a whole thing.
Right.
But at this point in my life and my career and the other people involved, it doesn't benefit anybody. It would just be messy.
Yeah, see, you
it would just be messy.
Taking the high road.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want that to be my what people remember about me.
That's right.
Right? Because some people are waking up every day and they're just getting introduced to me. So this should be good that they learn about me when they ask people about me or they do their history. Yeah. Go back and take a look. So I don't want to go out like that. There ain't no money in it. Ain't no money in being messy like that.
It's just for viral moments online.
I ain't trying to go.
Not
I'm not trying to go viral that way.
That's right.
Let's go viral with these burgers.
Yeah.
You know?
Congratulations. I'm just so honored to be sitting here and having this conversation. Cory, thank you so much for being here and giving us insight. The new album, Way Mo Trill, November 7th.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's go. And when we come back to town, we have to come and get, Trill Burgers.
Just come from the airport. We'll put your bags over to the side.
Even better. That's how, look, you see, I have luggage right now.
Absolutely.
So we will be there. But from everything that I've heard from everybody that I know that has gone there, they have raved about how incredible it is. The environment, the food is remarkable. And Tone, and I hate to point him out, he's a foodie. So he's going to be honest. He's very critical. So, I mean, congratulations on all the success.
Look, my reputation in all these years, it wouldn't be worth it just to throw it on a burger if it wasn't worth what I said it was.
That's right.
Because Trill's got too much energy on it. It's got too much motion behind it for me to throw it on a burger just to make a couple of bucks. Like I ain't thirsty like that. Yeah. We're good. But this is what it is. It really is the real.
Please say hi to your wife, and you have to bring her next time.
I definitely will.
This is unacceptable. Just hearing just the mastermind that she is.
Shout out to Queenie.
I need her. That's who I need to have a conversation with.
I'll make sure that she comes next time, and make sure you say hi to your husband.
I will.
And tell him stay the course.
Thank you. Of course. Thank you guys. Thank
You're
you
welcome.
so much. Of
Thank
course.
You.